The blizzard trapped me inside my house for 2 days. No power, no phone signal, no way out. On the second night, I noticed something terrifying. Every time I looked outside, the snow around my house was changing, not drifting, being disturbed. Whatever was doing it was making sure I knew it was still there. This isn't a ghost story. This isn't a monster story. This is the reason I never live anywhere isolated anymore. I used to live in a rural area, surrounded by forest and open land. It's the kind of place that looks peaceful and beautiful, right up until winter hits. The forecast had warned us about a major blizzard, but honestly, nobody expected it to get that bad. By early evening, the snow wasn't just falling, it was coming down sideways. A few hours later, the roads were completely gone, buried under a thick white blanket. At exactly 7:46 p.m., the power went out. The whole house plunged into darkness and silence. So I did what anyone would do. I lit some candles, got a fire going in the fireplace, and told myself I'd just sleep through the worst of it. At that point, I wasn't really scared, just annoyed. But that feeling changed when the wind suddenly stopped. It went from a howling gale to complete unnatural silence. That's not right. Blizzards aren't supposed to go quiet. Around midnight, I couldn't sleep, so I went to the living room window to look outside. The yard was pure white, perfect, smooth, untouched canvas of snow. No footprints, no animal tracks, nothing. It was almost beautiful. I felt a little better and finally went to bed. About an hour later, I woke up for no reason. You know that feeling? When something just pulls you out of a deep sleep? That's when I heard it. A faint crunching sound from outside. It was slow, measured, like someone taking deliberate steps. I crept back to the window, my heart starting to pound. The snow wasn't smooth anymore. There were deep impressions circling my house. They weren't random, and they weren't from an animal running. It looked like something was walking around the entire house and stopping at every single window. Then the next sound came. It wasn't from the yard, it was from the front porch. It wasn't a knock. It was a scraping sound, like fingernails dragging slowly across the frozen wood of the porch steps. I just froze, too scared to even breathe. Scraping moved. It went from the porch to the side wall of the house. And then it stopped directly beneath my bedroom window. Without even thinking, I whispered, "Hello?" The scraping stopped instantly, and then I heard 3 slow knocks, not on the door. From underneath the window, they weren't loud. They were quiet, polite, patient. Like whatever it was, it knew I was awake and listening. My phone, which had been dead for hours, suddenly buzzed on the nightstand. I grabbed it. No signal bars, no service. But there was a notification. Unknown caller. My hand was shaking, but I answered it. All I heard was static. Then a distorted whisper came through the speaker. "You shouldn't stand so close to the glass." I dropped the phone. The call ended immediately. At that exact moment, the window in front of me fogged up from the outside. A slow, deliberate exhale against the cold pane. And as the fog cleared, a perfect handprint was left behind in the frost. I backed away from the window, scrambled out of the room, and locked myself in the bathroom. I just sat on the floor in the dark, listening until morning. When daylight finally broke through the clouds, I gathered just enough courage to look outside again. The snow had stopped. Everything was quiet, but the ground around my house was completely covered in footprints. Dozens and dozens of them. All different sizes, all leading away from my house, disappearing into the woods. Except for one set. Those footprints ended directly beneath my bedroom window. And there were no footprints leading away from that spot. Once the phone service returned, I called the police. They came out, searched the entire area, but found nothing. No signs of any animals, no people, nothing. Before they left, one of the officers asked me something strange. He said, "Why didn't you mention the basement door?" I told him I never opened it, that it was always locked. He just went pale. He looked at me and said, "Well, you should know. It was unlocked from the inside. Someone had cleared a path in the snow leading out." I sold that house 2 weeks later. I couldn't stay there another night. But sometimes, even now, when there's a really heavy snowstorm, I'll get a notification on my phone. It's from an unknown number. There's never a message. It's just 2 words. Still watching.